90% of small businesses fail. 20% in the first 12 months. Why? We're not trained in business. We struggle because we don't have the right systems. We haven't identified the right patients. We don't have the confidence to give them what they're asking for and what they need. I'm going to help you master the marketing and consultation techniques to draw the right patients into your practice and keep them coming back. Welcome. So as people are filtering in, just make sure you put where you're from in the chat, and then we'll get started here shortly. We are here to help you understand and figure out how to attract and retain your ideal patients for PRP. I'm going to help you master the marketing and consultation techniques to draw the right patients into your practice and keep them coming back. For those of you who are here, I'm so glad you're here. Thank you so much. I'm excited to have you here, and we'll get started. So 90% of small businesses fail. 20% in the first 12 months. Why? We're not trained in business. Now, the whys are a little bit tricky. Maybe you don't know how to budget, or you don't know how to spend it correctly, or you're not doing your research, or you're not defining your specific target market, or you don't have a business plan, or you're not sure how and when to hire. So here's the deal. We are not trained in business. When we're offering cash-based services like platelet-rich plasma or any cash-based product, we struggle because we don't have the right systems, we haven't identified the right patients, and maybe we don't have the confidence to give them what they're asking for and what they need. So I want to introduce you to my friend. This is Mark. Mark was struggling. He is an orthopedic surgeon, he was an employed surgeon, and he knew there was a better way, but he didn't know how. And so he couldn't see a way forward. He didn't feel valued in his current practice. He knows he's a great doctor, but he couldn't care for his patients in the way that he knows was right in his current situation. So he took a leap of faith, and he learned how to use the information that I'm going to share with you today. And this is going to be a game changer for you. Because maybe that's you. Maybe you know there's a different way. Maybe you know that you want to help your patients better, but you just can't see a way forward. So today, I'm going to share with you mastering marketing and consultation techniques. So we're not taught this business stuff in medicine. It's not difficult. You know, there's rules and there's techniques and systems for success, just like med school. But if you violate those laws of science or business, you will fail. So in the next 30 minutes, I'm going to provide you with actionable knowledge to attract the ideal patient who wants your services and needs your services for cash-based orthobiologic treatments. So I want you to be able to have these patients who are coming to you, coming to your practice, and they just say yes. They say, yes, I want the thing that's going to help me. Please show me how. So welcome to my system. This is the Orthobiologics Practice Launch System. And this little part that we're going to share with you today, this patient magnet method, is part of a larger system for success. I have been wildly successful, and my clients have been wildly successful. This has changed our lives, and I created the system to help doctors just like you who want to offer orthobiologics in their practice who want to offer these cash-based treatments in their practice, and they want to create a successful, sustainable, and profitable orthobiologics practice. So today we're going to focus on the patient magnet method, and we're going to master marketing and the consultation technique to not only draw the right patients into your practice, but that help them say yes. By the end of this time that we're going to spend today, you're going to be in one of two categories. You're going to say, great, I want to know more about this. And we have an option for you. That's the Bob Live. That's the whole framework of the Orthobiologics Practice Launch System in one day. That's in Arizona in February. So go ahead and I'll give you some information, so don't worry. There may be those of you who say, great, but I want to do it now. I want the fast track to the full implementation. And I want to know how I start platelet-rich plasma in my practice now. Now, if you fall into that category, don't worry. I've got an accelerated program for you as well. That's my PRP Now program. So let's get to it and we'll dive in to how we're going to find your perfect patient. So here's the deal. We don't know how to talk to our patients about this amazing treatment. Now think about this. If all was equal, would you recommend platelet-rich plasma to your patients? Of course we would. This is a great treatment. We know it's a great treatment. We would do it for ourselves, but we have these hangups. We have these hangups around money. We think, yeah, that's all great, but it's not covered. Our patients aren't going to pay. And I'm here to tell you, that's just not true. We just haven't demonstrated why this is such a valuable treatment for them and why it makes so much sense for them to get this valuable treatment. So I just want to have you think, who thinks that PRP, all cost and money things aside, would help their patients? If it was free, would you offer it to them? Yes. Now, would you offer it to every single patient? If it was this amazing treatment that you knew was going to help them, you couldn't help but not offer it to them. So why don't we offer these amazing treatments to our patients? Number one, we have hangups on how to talk about money. And number two, we don't know how to identify these perfect patients. By the way, they're sitting in your office. They want to be offered this. Please talk to them about how they can get better. They're there for a solution to their problem, and you have the solution to their problem. They're sitting in your office. They're calling your office, making appointments for you to tell them about this amazing treatment. So I'm going to let you in on a little secret. I live in a small town of 20,000 in Northern California. And before you think, oh gosh, yes, well, everybody in California has the means to pay for these things. The median income in my town is $33,000. Now, you're thinking, well, that's not much. That may be a little bit lower than my town. Huh. And I'll tell you another secret. At the end of last year, my cash revenue for orthobiologic treatments was just under $1 million in 2024. Yeah. So those patients that are sitting in your office want this treatment and want to give you money to help them. You have the tools, you have the solution to their problem. But if you don't talk about this amazing treatment, you can't serve your patients, and you're leaving money on the table, and you are not helping your patients to your fullest ability. So the question is how do you find these patients? Let me show you. I've helped people just like you succeed in this cash-based orthobiologic practice, and they've been wildly successful. Don't let me forget, I'm going to tell you a little bit more about Mark in just a little bit. So today's goal, I'm going to equip you with the perfect patient, actionable marketing strategies, and a consultation roadmap for success. So we're going to spend the next 20 to 25 minutes finding your ideal patient and really thinking through how to attract and get them to say yes. So who is your ideal client? So these are examples of my ideal client. I've had patients who have maybe tried cortisone and PT and aren't ready for surgery. They've tried some things, but they're not ready for the big kahuna. How many patients have you sent away? Hey, you don't need surgery, and so why don't you come back when it's worse? You're sending them away with no solution? And you have a solution right here. So consider this patient. Consider their age, consider their lifestyle, income, their healthcare needs. They need something between this cortisone and PT, and they're not better, but they're not really a good candidate for surgery. Think about those patients that are sitting in your office, those patients with the partial thickness rotator cuff tears, lateral epicondylitis, it's not better with physical therapy, greater trochanteric, hip pain, tendonitis, all of these patients that have tried these braces and injections and PT, and they're like, doc, this isn't good enough. What's next? And you're like, well, you're not really a candidate for surgery. Good news is you don't need surgery, but why don't you come back when it's worse? Why don't you stop doing the things that are making it hurt? Like, really? We have a solution. Also, think about their psychographics, which means what they value. They don't value stopping those activities. They want to get on with their life. They want to do the things that they love. They want to do things that they are passionate about. And then you consider their pain points, their decision-making behaviors. And by the way, you get a say in who you treat. So think about the patients that you like to treat, you love to treat. Think about those patients that if you had that kind of patient that's motivated, that wants your help, that's willing to do the hard work, and they just want to get better, and they're like, I don't care what it costs, I want to be better. I can't go on like this. And they're nice, and you like them, and you know that this is going to help them. Think about that patient. And then think if you had 100 patients just like that. That is what we call your ideal patient. Some marketing people call it an avatar, but I just think of it as your ideal patient and you want 100 more like them. Imagine if that, and I know you're getting this picture in your mind's eye of your favorite patient. You're like, man, I love treating this guy or gal. I love this. This is so fun. This is awesome. They do what I say. They just keep coming to me asking for solutions, and they're up for it. So that's your perfect patient. And really kind of dig in. You got to have a name, age, income, just write it all down. And really, let me know, what they value. I know for me, one of my perfect patients is a PGA golfer who was going round and round and round and round and round with knee pain. He couldn't golf. He had a big tournament coming up, and he'd been going to doctors, getting injections, cortisone, hyaluronic acid, unloaded bracing, PT for 7 months. And now he has a tournament in 6 weeks, and he's panicked because he can't play. He can't walk the course, and they can't use carts. And so he's like, I got this thing, I've been invited, and I can't do it. So now this is where the rubber meets the road, and he's motivated, he has really big pain points, and he's ready to do whatever it's going to take to get him to this tournament where he can play golf, which is his passion. So now we're ready. This is my perfect patient for what his problem was, and I would love to have 100 more just like him. So that's who we're going to be speaking to. That's who we're going to be talking with and talking to over this next little bit. So what I want you to do next, now that you have your ideal patient, write down all these, be really specific. Where does he live? What kind of car does he drive? What does he wear? How does he talk? And all of these things. Really be specific. It's going to make a difference in just a little bit. Next, what sets your practice apart? What are the benefits and these regenerative treatments that you offer? Make sure that you know why you're awesome. And you need to communicate your expertise, your outcomes, your unique patient experience. Why are you better? And why can you help your patient, your perfect patient, better than the guy or gal down the street? Write it down. Just write down what it is, why it's so awesome. Is it that you call them every day? Is it that you get them in quickly? Is it that you're a great listener? Is it that you have extra training? Is it that you're really good at diagnosing? You have ultrasound skills. You're really good at caring about your patient. So just write that down. And this is what is called a unique value proposition. And you can just write it down. I am really good at treating knee pain with injection-based therapies. And my patients love me because I am diligent about getting the right diagnosis. That's mine. You can use that if you'd like, but really think for why are you standing out in this market? Why should people come see you instead of the person down the street? And then write that down. So now you have that. Now you need to reach your ideal patient. So you got to choose the right marketing channels, right? Social media, email, SEO, in person, right? And you have to create content that inspires action. So where are they? Where are they hanging out? What online platform are they hanging out on? If they're 65 plus, they're probably hanging out on Facebook. They're probably not hanging out on TikTok, or, maybe they're not even hanging out on Instagram. Maybe they're all hanging out on YouTube. Maybe they're all hanging out in person at the gym. Maybe they're at the coffee shop talking. Maybe you're at the golf course. Maybe that is your ideal client. And so your perfect way to reach your audience effectively is to be at the golf course, giving a lecture or hosting a dinner for how to get your groove back in your golf swing. Maybe you're doing that and you're really good at that. So you've got to figure out where your perfect patient hangs out. And then what content, what do they want to know about? What do they ask you? So think about your perfect patient. What are the 5 questions that they want to know? What is this? What is this PRP that you're talking about? How is this going to go? How long am I going to be able to play golf in 6 weeks? And, what else am I going to do? And it inspires actions. So, hey, this PRP is going to get you back to your golf game in 1 week. Click the button below to schedule a free consultation or something to that effect. And just answer their questions. Be consistent, be on brand, right? By the way, you're the brand. You are the brand. You are the reason that patients come to see you. They know you, they like you, they trust you. They want more of what you have to say. So as an example, you can just record some videos answering their questions. Think of the top 10 questions that you answer in your clinic for this ideal patient every day. Maybe just write down the top 5. Doc, why does my knee hurt? Doc, what exercises can I do? Doc, do I need surgery? Doc, what's a meniscus tear? Doc, what is this? These are all great questions, and I hear them all the time. I'm sure you do too. But why don't you go ahead and write down the the top 5 questions that your patients always ask. Okay, so now you have that. Now you just need to create the content. So how do we do that? We need to educate to empower your patient. You can use how-to videos, blogs, webinars, all directed at your perfect patient. Remember your perfect patient? They want to know all the things. This is an example of my friend, Dr. Mark Petropoli. He's an orthopedic surgeon in upstate New York, and he's been really successful at getting all of these informational videos out there. This is his YouTube channel, and I just wanted to show you, this is really how, and you can tell, who is he speaking to? This is his patient. You know, what are the alternatives to knee replacement? The secret to healing knee cartilage without surgery. Is surgery the only option for ACL tears? Do I need surgery? Like, he's a surgeon, and he's helping, and he's answering these questions that patients always ask him. And then if you keep diving into his YouTube channel, he also showcases patient success stories, helping educate on what platelet-rich plasma is, what bone marrow concentrate is. And he is reaching his patients through his YouTube channel. Now, why this works? So what's the #1 search engine? It's Google, right? So what's the #2 search engine? It's YouTube. YouTube is a search engine. Just think, when you want to know how to fix something or how to do something, where do you go? You go to YouTube, right? You're like, oh, I'll just YouTube it. It'll tell me how to do this. So people who are on the YouTube platform are actively looking for solutions to their problems. Does this sound familiar? They're the same patients that are in your office actively looking for solutions to their problems. You have the solution to their problems. So yes, it will work for you as well. And here's why. They know you, they like you, they trust you, they want your opinion, they want your knowledge, they want your solutions because you're the expert. So you can help them in your specific field of your expertise. And you can harness the power of the internet to do this. You can get a wider reach, a wider audience, finding all of those gems, those perfect patients, just like your perfect patient that is in your office. You're going to reach, and you're going to be speaking to that type of person with those type of problems, with those type of actions. They need that solution now. They want what you have. And you're going to draw them to you using the power of the internet. Now that you've recorded that video, where else should you post? Well, it depends where your people are, right? Honestly, you can post it on Facebook, you can post it on Instagram, you can post it everywhere. And if they're searching any search engine, here's the secret. You name the video for what they are searching for, right? So if we go back and we remember, what's the secret to healing knee cartilage without surgery? That's the question. Is surgery the only option for partial ACL tears? That's the question that people want to know. They're going to type it in the Google search, and you know what? Your video is going to come up. So there's a big preference in the YouTube platform and in the Google platforms for video content. So if you are creating video content, and it doesn't have to be perfect, you can do it directly from your phone. You pick it up, you're in your clinic, you have 5 minutes, and you open your YouTube app. Yes, you have to get a YouTube channel. It's very easy. So how do you do it? You go on Google and say, how do I create a YouTube channel? And it'll do a step-by-step, right? And then if you're lucky, there's a video on how to create a YouTube channel. So you create a YouTube channel, then you have the little app on your phone, and you open the app and create a video on your YouTube channel and directly upload it. Just answering these questions. Hey, my patients always ask, is PRP right for me? What is PRP? How do I fix my meniscus tear? Why does my knee hurt? Is running making my knee pain worse? Am I ruining my knee? You can talk about any of those. We talk about these things all day long. And then you record the video. Don't worry, don't edit it. Please don't edit it. Don't go so hung up. Just be consistent. You know, do it once a week, once a day. Every time you're in clinic on Tuesday, just record a video. Hey, I just had a question. I wanted you guys to get the answer. Blah, 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 blah. Upload. And don't worry about it. And do it every Tuesday. Hey guys, this is, Ask Me Anything Tuesday. And I thought this question was really good. I wanted to just share this with you, blah, blah, blah. Don't stress. They want to see you. They know you. They like you. They trust you. When they see your face, they're like, oh, my doctor, yes. Oh my gosh, he has all of these questions. I'm going to go look at some more questions. And they continue this relationship, increasing their trust with you. And so please just post. Yes, it's stressful. Don't get it all fancy and cleaned up. Just do it. Here's the next step, right? Your digital front door, right? Your website. Everyone like talks about, oh, I just need to optimize my website. Yes, and I would do these other things first, right? But if we're gonna have your website, we want to make sure that it's clear. So this is an optimized website, and people read websites from top left, across the top, down through the middle, and then bottom right. So we want to be very clear what we're doing, right? We want clarity, credibility. We want to make sure that the main page is speaking to them. Don't put who you are and what you do. You want to identify your perfect patient's outcome, their transformation. So my perfect patient, what's his transformation? What does he get if he comes to see me and gets the treatment? He gets to play golf. And he's killing it. And he's vibrant and active, and he's not held back. And so that is what they need to see. They need to identify with themselves. They need to see themselves like, oh, this is for me. I see myself in them. And then you can leverage your reviews and your testimonials on page 2 and say, hey, yeah, I also got back to golf. Hey, this was great. I was skeptical, and you know what? It was simple, it was easy, and I'm now back to playing golf 5 days a week. What have you? And so really, really important to not be talking about how you're so awesome and your clinic's so awesome. Yes, you can talk about that and who you are and make sure that they're in the right place. But really on the front page, you want to have a clear call to action, which is what to do. Meet with me. Schedule a call. Schedule an appointment. One action. What do you want them to do? Do you want them to call you for an appointment? Then that's what you put on the button. Next, your first impression is everything, right? When they meet you on your YouTube video, you want to be your own self. That's why I tell you, don't worry about being polished. Just upload it. Now, when they come in to your office, first impressions are really important. And listening to your patient, listening to their concerns and goals is going to be really important because we are going to do a goal-directed consultation. And then you're going to simplify this complex medical information, right? You're not going to go into all of the scientific reasons why platelet-rich plasma is so good and what it does, and the alpha granules, and when they hit collagen, they degranulate, and they do all of these amazing things. Patients want to know that you can get them the solution that they need to achieve the goal that they want. And so this entire process is all about building trust, showing empathy, helping them to understand that the solution that you have is going to solve their problem and allow them to achieve the goal that they want. I always use the example of driving to San Francisco over the San Francisco Bridge, right? My goal is to go to San Francisco. I have to go over the bridge. I don't care how many bolts are on that San Francisco bridge. I don't care how high it is. I don't care how long it is. It's a bridge. It's a means to an end. Great. So PRP is going to get you your goals done. Awesome. Maybe you're interested. Well, how long does it take? Because I need to make sure I have enough gas. Or you can talk to them about that, but honestly, that's not the highlights. The highlights are, what are their goals? And do you have a solution that will allow them to achieve their goals? After you have assured them that your solution will allow them to achieve their goals, the next step is to turn your patients into raving fans. So continue that follow-up care, consistent communication. You may have patient loyalty programs, and it helps encourage word-of-mouth referrals. For whatever reason, our patients trust their neighbor more than us, right? When you're talking about what you're doing and you have a benefit, people don't want to hear it directly from you. They want to hear it from their neighbor, from the guy down the street. Oh my gosh, you have to go see doctor because they did this and they did this, and I was able to get back to golf and I could do it, and it wasn't even that painful, and it was way better than I thought it was going to be. You've got to go see them. I swear they're going to fix their problem just like they fixed my problem. Is a much better way than me telling him, hey Joe, Jim said that I'm going to be able to fix your problem. I can fix your problem. And they always have that like, really? But when it's word of mouth referrals, they're all in. And so that should be the goal, is to really encourage those word of mouth referrals. That is a very powerful tool for getting those patients just like you, because you know what? Jim and Joe are pretty similar. Where do they hang out? At the golf course. What do? They play golf. What do they have? They're about the same age. They have the same car. They have the same, income. They're doing the same stuff. They're your perfect patients. And so we really want that to encourage that referral, word of mouth referrals. Next step, measure what matters, right? Track those key metrics. How many patients are calling? How many patients are pushing that button, call to schedule an appointment? How many patients are coming to the appointment? Of those patients who are coming to the appointment, how many patients are saying yes? And then once they're done with the procedure, how many patients are like, man, that was the best decision I ever made? And then you track that over time and you get to see a pattern. And you can start to adjust your strategies based on that feedback and data to improve what you're doing. And there's tools and there's technologies to streamline the tracking. There's lots of stuff, but you can even just use a little spreadsheet. So, do you remember Mark? Yeah. Dr. Mark Eisenberg. He started 9 months ago. He opened a very small, 1 day a week orthobiologics practice outside his standard orthopedic surgery practice. Iron Mountain Orthopedic Institute is his orthobiologics practice. And he just opened it. It's been open 9 months. He does 1 day a week. He doesn't even have any employees yet. So he's really at the start. And I'm going to share with you his revenue in his first month was $5,000. And he was ecstatic because he thought no one was going to pay for this. And in 2024, his cash revenue skyrocketed to $162,000 just by applying the patient magnet system. So, what else has he been able to do? Since he has that confidence, he knows patients will pay him for the solution. He has those patients sitting in his office and they're looking for this solution, and it's a great solution. He has recently purchased an office space and he's negotiated freedom from the hospital practice, and he is on his way to wild success. So we've talked about understanding your patients, marketing to your patients, using your unique value proposition, and booking those consultations, those goal-directed consultations for the win. So you're ready. You have your perfect patient. You have your marketing strategy, and you know how to conduct the consultation for success. So what's the next step? By now, you're in one of two categories, right? Great, I want to learn more about this. We have this great option. I want you to join me for a day and do a deep dive into patient attraction strategies. We're going to create those assets. We're going to create that marketing spiel about how do we talk to our perfect patients. And so come do one day. It's going to be great. I'm going to go ahead and you can either use the QR code or we'll put the link in the chat for those of you who are maybe saying, yeah, I don't want to wait. I don't want to come to some event. I want to get started right now. This is my event for the early birds, which is up until the 15th of this month, just a couple more days. You can register. If you want the VIP, this includes a strategy lunch with me and access to my community and a quick start playbook. So if you're interested or if you're going to be at IOF, come join me. It's on February 27th in Phoenix, Arizona. Scan that QR code and we're going to learn about proven strategies for perfect patients, creating a 30-day, 60-day, and 90-day roadmap, creating a branding of your practice and you, and then creating pricing models. And you'll hear from successful orthobiologic physicians that have done this and have had wild success. So if you have already registered for IOF or you want to come join me in Phoenix, Arizona, please register. Do it now. You won't be sorry. You're going to have a whole day of figuring out how you can become successful, wildly successful, and start making money on Monday. That's the deal. Now, if you want to start today, if you want that fast track to freedom, you can enroll in my PRP Now program to transform your practice. So just scan that QR code and that will take you to a registration page and you will be able to go ahead and register. For that, you're going to get that Orthobiologics practice launch system. You're going to get Orthobiologics bootcamp, the patient magnet method, the cash pay practice playbook, the consult to convert method, and the implementation accelerator. This is a self-paced course for those who are wanting to get it done. For those enterprising individuals, it can be done in 1 week. There's 40 hours of content, so it is doable if you really just buckle down and do it. You can have a proven system that's ready to go, and you can launch in the next 30 days and have PRP making money for you on Monday. And honestly, I just want to help you create a successful, sustainable, profitable orthobiologic practice using this proven system. So if you want that Freedom Fast Track to PRP Now program, just scan this code. Otherwise, I'm hoping to see you in Arizona on February 27th. Come join us. It's going to be a great time. This is going to be an intimate setting where we can really dive in and get you started on a 90-day roadmap to success. So come on down, either join me or if you want the fast track, scan that QR code.